The holiday season, starting with the Thanksgiving, is here. So let's start it with a fun and creative project in Luminar NEO. If you're ready, we are starting right now. Okay, so starting the holiday season with the Thanksgiving and with this fun composite. Now to start with, we're gonna need Luminar NEO and the sample files. And of course, if you wanna follow me, then definitely jump into the description of this video, follow the link there, download the sample files, and we can start. Okay, so what you're gonna need first is the image of this guy driving the car in the landscape. If you have it in Luminar NEO, then we can move into the edit module. Okay, so first come first, we're gonna add our turkey. Now, how are we gonna do that? Well, we're gonna need our layers. So let's go and click on the plus sign, then click on load image. And with a new window open, we need to navigate towards our sample files. Inside, we have a number of sample files here, as you've seen, including the roast. So let's select it and click on open. Then again, let's click on load image and actually import all the different elements we have here. Finally, the fourth one is the bowl. And once finished, we are ready. Okay, first thing we need to do is to click on the turkey, chicken, or roast and add it on our image. Once we click on that, it appears in our layers panel, and it also shows that it's selected with the orange frame around it in the layers panel and also on the main image. Now, to make sure that the ratio is right, let's go into layer properties and click on fit. This way, it just get reset into its original ratio. Now, of course, this is way too big, so let's make it smaller using the little white dots, and let's do that. Make it even smaller. And what we're gonna do? Well, we're gonna position it on the top of the car. Now, this is very much just a fun composite. It doesn't need to be a completely realistic. It's just to have a little bit of fun and along the way learn some really cool techniques. So what we're doing, we're basically just positioning the turkey on the top of the car, and you could put it here, but then it would look like the turkey is just hanging in the middle of nothing. So we're gonna bring it down somewhere around here so it looks like the turkey is on the car. We can rotate it when we hover outside of the frame and just kind of move around. So let's see what works the best. I am thinking probably around here, well, maybe a little bit down. Yeah, somewhere around here, like this. Once happy, we can now go ahead and increase the opacity, just to double check, yeah? This all looks good. However, of course, we need to hide the turkey on the top of the car. So let's just bring the opacity back again so we can see the car as well as the turkey. And we're gonna go into the masking. Once we're in the masking, we're gonna use brush for this, and of course we're gonna use erase because we're gonna be removing specific part of this layer. Now let's zoom in a little closer. We can use the wheel on our mouse, or you can also use Command or Control plus. Now coming closer, we need to make sure that we have the right brush settings. So with the softness, don't go all the way to 100 because that is not very realistic. It just makes super sharp brushes. So we don't want to do that. So we want to go somewhere around 10. Little bit of softness. Strength on 10, so that's good. And moving a little bit closer, just using the wheel, we can now start the brushing. Now we can use the shift as a little help. So what we're going to do, we're going to click at the beginning somewhere around here. And then we're going to hold the shift and click a little bit further along the line or along the top of the car. So somewhere around here. Nice line, right? Well, what it does, it basically just create a straight line between the first and second brush or click. Now you can very quickly use the bracket keys, make the brush bigger and just brush whatever is under, right? Zoom in a little closer here. There's a little bit of edge here or little gap. So again, adjust the size of the brush somewhere around here. One click, shift and another click. Again, brush whatever is under. And when you're moving around, just use a space bar. So that way you don't brush, you just move with the brush. Actually, this works for any brush in NEO. Now, click down here, shift, click again, up, Perfect. And one more click and just follow the top of the car, right? It's really simple. Doesn't have to be complicated. Not everything in life have to be complicated. Now, if you stop seeing the roof, just go back to properties and bring the opacity even lower, somewhere around here or even lower. Now, if everything worked well, when you go back to masking, you still have the same setting. So one click and brush, still keep holding a shift and just clicking and extending the line. It's simple. Up here, somewhere around here, and that's it. We are done. Now, zooming back out, again, wheel on the mouse or command or control minus. Once ready, you can make the brush a little bit bigger and just brush away whatever is left at the bottom. So let's have a look. How about this? Yeah. Move around, double check, zoom out a little further. And if happy, then go back to properties and increase the opacity. How about this? Wow. Now it's hiding behind the car. Now, looking at it, there's one thing we need to do, right? I mean, the turkey is there, but it looks a little bit like glued together. So we want to add a little bit of shadow along so it looks like it's there. How can we do this? Well, we just gonna select the layer with the car, then go into the develop tool, and here we're gonna use the exposure. Now, what is shadow? It's ultimately just a darker part of the same element. So darker area of the car, that would be a shadow. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the exposure slider and bring it down. We're gonna make it darker. How dark? Well, it's up to you. I'm thinking around minus 1 point, let's say 4 or somewhere around there. With that, let's go into masking. We're gonna again use brush. This time we're gonna be painting because we're gonna be painting this effect in. Softness 100, definitely we want a nice and soft shadow. Strength, yeah, let's say we start around 40 and we go. Or we can go on 100 and then we adjust it later. It is up to you. So either way, let's start with 100, zoom in a little bit. And what we're going to do, we mostly going to use the actual soft part of the brush to create the shadow. So let's say that we make one click here, something like this, and then shift and click further. You can see how it nicely does the line, shift and click, and all the way towards the end. So I'm thinking somewhere around here. If you need one more brush stroke, you can add it there. Now, zooming back out, how does it look? It looks good. You can brush a little bit further. Again, you can zoom in and brush on if you feel like it needs to. So let's say that we make the edge a little bit stronger, somewhere around here. And that's about it. Now, zoom out or just fit in a screen using Command or Control 0 and check the shadow. We can have a look before and after. If you feel that the shadow is a little bit too strong, then go back to adjustments and just make it a little bit brighter. If you feel that it's not strong enough, just make it darker. It's up to you. I'm thinking probably around that minus 1.5 was right. Now looking at it, we have a little bit of shadow in the sky here. So let's remove that very quickly. Zooming back there into masking, where this time erase, softness on 10, and just very quickly brush away the area we have added here. Then move on the other side just to make sure. And let's have a look. Yeah, just remove it from here. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. So that's our shadow, that's our turkey. Now, of course, driving around with the turkey on the top, it would fall out, right? So how can we keep it on the top of the car? You guessed it, with the ribbon. So let's go into our layers, plus sign, and let's start with the ribbon itself. Click on it to add it. Once you add it, again, click on fit to double check the ratio. And of course, we need to make it much smaller. Now, move it around, rotate it. And the idea is that it's going to be across the turkey, going through this little window. And then, of course, across coming to the other way around, right? Just a bit of fun. So around here, I think a little bit smaller, maybe even. Don't make it too big. And for now, place it around here. Now, to really adjust the size, it's good to also have the bow. So let's go back to layers, plus sign, and let's add the bow. Wow, huge. So again, fit to adjust the ratio and make it much smaller. I'm thinking probably around here. Yeah? Is that about right? I think that's about right. If you want, you can make it a little bit bigger, but for me, around here is right. Now, position it, of course, on the top of the turkey, just about where the edge is. Once we do that, that will give us a good indicator on how big the ribbon should be. So we can come back to ribbon now, adjust the size, make it a little bit smaller, and yeah, just hide it behind. So I am thinking, let's have a look, around here. Okay, so with the bow, we can select it and increase the opacity. It's already there with our ribbon. We still need to mask it out a little bit. So let's go into masking, brush, softness on 10. So we want quite hard brush, and erase, of course, we removing part. With that said, we can brush away the top of the ribbon, and of course we need to hide the ribbon inside of the car. So we're gonna do that through this little window. Now we're gonna zoom in, quick brush stroke here, shift, quick brush stroke on the other, make the brush bigger, and just very quickly brush away this part. How cool, right? So now we have the ribbon in. Back to properties, increase the opacity, and how about this? The ribbon is holding the turkey on the top of the car. Again, it looks a little bit attached. Why? Or glued to it. Why? Because we don't have the shadows. So let's add some shadows right now. First place to add it is the turkey. So let's select the turkey. Again, into develop, bring the exposure down quite heavily, let's say -1 to start, and into masking. Brush, yes, strength, this time definitely on 40, paint, because we are painting the effect in, softness on 100, and size we will adjust after. Moving in, and let's make the brush just a little bit bigger, and let's just brush on the edges of this ribbon here. So we're gonna start from the top, one click up here, and shift and one click down here. Let's do the same on the other side. Click on one side, shift and click on the other. Let's have a look. Before and after. Better already, right? Now we need to do that also with this part of the bow. So smaller brush, I'm thinking around here. And this way we just need to brush. Now try to make one brush stroke. Don't do several brush strokes because it will not look natural. So just try to make one. So back to paint, and let's just brush this. Use the little cross in the middle of your brush as a guide to follow the edge, and just one brush stroke down, somewhere around here. It doesn't need to be perfect, but try to follow the shape of the bow. Into the edge here, and follow it again up, somewhere around here. Cool. Let's have a look. Before and after. Better, right? Now there is still a little bit of brush strokes here, so that's that. And back to paint, and we'll do exactly the same on the other side. So let's just follow the edge, yeah, something like this, up, down, and up here. Perfect. Now zooming back out, let's have a look. Before and after. Finally, we also need to add shadow on the car. So let's select the car, zoom in, and actually we can open a new develop tool, or we can use the same develop we have used earlier. But actually, you know what? Let's go for new, minus about 1.5, yeah, maybe 1.3 in this case. Masking, brush, softness here, strength around 40. Yeah, that's about right. And we're just gonna make one brush stroke here. So I am thinking around here, like this. Have a look at it. Does it look good? Yes. Before and after. Now, if we have added a little bit on the window, you know what to do. Erase, softness down to 10. If you can't see the mask, click on a backslash key so you can see it, and just brush away the shadow from here. Okay, brilliant. Close the develop tool, and let's have a look at it. It looks good, right? I mean, where did we start it? Here, and now we here. Now, looking at it, let's just crop it very quickly. We want to add more attention towards our main subject. So let's go into crop. Let's go for the nice cinematic 16:9. Drag it down. If you want, you can make it a little bit smaller to add more attention on the turkey itself. And then just click on apply or hit enter. With that, we have final element to add, and that's the leaves. Now, when I was preparing the project, everything worked, but I just couldn't figure out what he was looking at. Like, I wasn't able to say, and I always think about the storytelling and the story of the image. So I thought what he could be looking at are the leaves falling off our roast. So let's do that. Let's click on plus sign and add our final element, the leaves. When they appear, you know what to do. Click on fit and adjust the size. Now they are falling the wrong way around, so we need to flip them horizontally and then position them right around back of the car. So I'm thinking around here. So it looks a little bit like they're falling from it. If you want to make it a little bit bigger, you can. Don't have to necessarily, but I think somewhere around here. Once happy, just increase the opacity and they are here. Now looking at them, compared to the rest of the image, they are just a little bit too bright, brighter than everything else. So to adjust this, again, while you have them selected, into the develop tool and bring the exposure down until that they are a little bit more similar. I'm thinking around minus 0.3, minus 0.4. Okay, so this is all this. Now we have placed everything, we have applied the shadows, and it's looking good. So to blend it all together, it's time to apply some global adjustments. So basically to edit the whole image. How can we do this? Well, we need to merge everything together, because right now if I would have, let's say, add more brightness to the car, it would only add it to the car. It wouldn't add it to the turkey and to the other elements. So we want to blend everything together and then apply these adjustments. How to do that? Well, let's go back to layers, select the layer at the bottom, hold Shift and select the layer on the top. While the files are merging, let me tell you about our Black Friday offer. It's already available on our website and you can visit it by going to cleverphotographer.com/BF2025, or you can follow the link in the description of this video. Now, talking about creativity, this Black Friday offer includes number of incredible photography bundles. Everything from wedding photography, night photography, portrait photography, all the way to super popular wildlife photography, fantasy photography, seascape photography, and so on. Every one of these packs is compatible with Luminar NEO as well as Lightroom and Photoshop, and you can just click on view details and view what's in them. Presets, LUTs, skies, overlays, textures, backgrounds, Photoshop brushes, Lightroom brushes, and so much more. Now you can buy each of the pack individually for $14.99. And if you buy more than 3, you can use the code BF2025 and get 20% discount. On top of it, if you really feel as a superhero and want to take your creativity to another level, you can take the entire bundle. Everything you see there with over 7,650 elements, you will get the complete photography bundle. It costs $169, which is about 53% less than if you would buy them one by one. And trust me, you will have everything you need for years to come. So don't miss on this. Check our website, cleverphotographer.com/BF2025 and grab your next incredible bundle now. Okay, back to the editing. So let's move into our editing toolbar where we're gonna start from the top. Let's apply a little bit of enhanced AI because that always helps just to bring everything together. So I'm thinking about 20 here. Now from here, we're gonna move into the creative section. First thing I want to do is to add a little bit of movement. It looks a little bit like he stopped, so it doesn't look very realistic. How can we do this? Well, we're going to use the blur tool. Open the blur tool and let's go into the motion blur. With the motion blur, we can now increase the amount. And as you do that, you will notice that we're getting that nice motion. However, it blurs everything and we only want to blur whatever is around the car. So the leaves and maybe the landscape. Very gently though, we don't want it too strong. So I'm thinking probably around 6. Now, how can we avoid the car and the roast? Well, it's really simple. We can go into the masking and brush it off. But honestly, to speed it up, we can go into the mask AI and wait what the application will offer us as an automatic setting or automatic mask. Well, for this, we can select the transport and that will kind of pre-select the car. After that, the human is already selected, so we don't worry about that. And we will probably have to select the turkey on our own. But we can go back and try another tool, which is the Object Select AI. So let's see what that is going to do. So far, we have selected the car. Now we want to add the turkey, right? So let's see. Yes, somewhere around here, we can add the turkey. That looks good. Also, everything that is at the bottom here. Wow. We have to do it one by one. It looks like so. Let's just do that very quickly. Now, there are other ways you could do this. You could, of course, brush it off. It's just to have a little bit of fun and try different tools. So we have done all of this. And now we can just very quickly come back, step in with the brush, bring on our mask with the backslash key, and just very quickly brush in whatever we have left. If we have missed something, we can zoom in, again, adjust the softness, probably around 10, and just very quickly select this area. Now for the blur, honestly, it doesn't need to be perfect, so don't worry too much about it. Just make a nice little selection. It doesn't need to be like a pen perfect, so let's just make sure that all of this is selected. Zoom in a little bit closer if you need to, and that's about it on this side. Double check the vegetable here, and if we already here and we need to unselect something, just hit X on your keyboard, move to erase, and erase this area. Again, something like this here, not perfect, just for the purpose of the blur. Zoom out a little bit, let's have a look. Yeah, this is all good. The middle of the bowl maybe, yep, definitely. Let's have a look. Somewhere around here, let's do one side very quickly. And the other side as well. From the other side, perfect. Little bigger. Brush away the middle and we can almost continue. Let's have a look. Yes, this is all good. Just the front of the car. So brushing away this, down, okay, up and around. So this all looks good to me. Okay, bigger brush just to clean everything else around these areas, and we are back. So, okay, coming back to our masking. So now we have the car selected, right? So it's only the car that is blurry. Everything else is sharp. To change this, well, let's go back into our masking menu, into the mask actions and click on invert. And like magic, we have the car and the roast in focus and everything else is nicely moving. Okay, I'm quite happy with it. Now, if you see some imperfections, let's say here on the top, these little edges, just really simply jump into masking, make sure that your mask is visible and then adjust it further. So for example, just mask away the top of the vegetable here. Yeah, something like this. And of course, take your time and do this. So yeah, stuff like this. Just take your time and adjust it further. Okay, so that's the movement. If you feel like the movement is too strong, just bring the amount down. It just needs a little bit. It honestly doesn't need to be strong. 4 will be more than enough. Now we are almost finished. We just want to add a few more touches to blend it all together. One of them is a good old mood tool and LUT. In fact, part of the sample files is a nice Autumn LUT. So click on Add Custom LUT File, navigate towards the sample file, select the Autumn Pro LUT from our Autumn bundle, click Add, and that will nicely change the colors into more kind of autumn feel. So I'm thinking around 40. With that, we can close the mood tool and move into the mystical tool, which always works super well. So just add a little bit of amount and glow. So yeah, somewhere around, let's say 30. And just to add a little bit of cinematic touch, let's add a little bit of film grain, which always blend nicely everything together. Finally, we just want to adjust a little bit the lighting, and why not to do that with one of the new Luminar NEO tools, which is the light depth. So into light depth we go, increase the amount and wait a moment for the mask to appear. Now we have the mask here so you can see and move around. So we have the car with the bow. So we just want to add light to that, just to the car. So somewhere around here, if we shift it, it will also select the turkey and add a little bit of extra amount with extra softness. And in advanced setting, we can now make the foreground a little bit darker by bringing the brightness near down. So gently like this, and also darken the background a little bit by making it darker, or actually brighten it up by making it brighter. Maybe brighter. Just move a little bit the mask if you need to, just to make sure that this all works. If you think it's a little bit too strong, just bring it down, double check the before and after, and that's that. You know what the finishing touch is? Well, the vignette tool with the minus somewhere around, let's say, minus 50. Advanced setting with inner light in the center to add more attention towards the center. And we are done. Okay, close the vignette tool. Let's have a look at it before and after. And here is your cute, cool and creative composite for the upcoming holiday season. By the way, if you want to keep learning, improving and enhancing your editing skills, our YouTube channel have hundreds of videos, including videos for every single tool in Luminar NEO. So subscribe today, continue learning and get on the journey towards your better photography skill. Have a good holidays everyone and see you soon.